Hello, Philip.
Hi.
Well, I'm in the DR, so if things get wonky, it's because I'm still working on my Wi-Fi here.
Okay.
So, do you know the topic?
I do.
Tell us.
Why it is important to have standard and why accountability to those standards is crucial
Okay.
to achieving your goals, be they personal or business.
Okay.
How was that?
All right, good. I'm going to make it a banner.
Okay. Banners help me think. So back in high school, we would sometimes ask friends, would you date this person? And if they said no, sometimes they would say no because they have standard. And it's the same for business relationships.
I'm not sure there was that many standards to dating in high school, but okay.
Well, I think when they told me no, it was because they had standards.
Oh, yes, okay.
They'd be like, well, kind of wanted someone over 5'6", someone with a major that projected income of some sort, all of these things. So 5'3" English major. Yeah, I was not up to some people's standards. Now, translating that to real estate, you have to have standards for who you hire, and you have to hold them accountable to standards.
I think it's people really, one of the reasons why agents are in this habit of like, I'm a top producer. I think people equate agents who do more production with a higher level of standards, which can be true, but I don't think is always true. So I think one of our goals is to make sure, no matter what level of production or income an agent wants to be at, if they do one transaction or they do 1,000, that they are done to the level of standards of which we have found to be the industry standard, basically, right?
So interesting standard that was introduced 10 years ago. Not a fan of Redfin, but they introduced it. I have to give them credit on that. They instead of embracing the more is better model, they introduced client ratings. And the standard they sought after were customer service. Were the people happy with your service? Would they use you again? Did they feel they got their money's worth? All of these things. And it terrified agents. And one of the people who was not jazzed about it was me. I was Redfin's very first referral agent in New York way back in the day. And it was a little dicey to submit to them contacting past clients to get ratings. I was afraid it would look like I had sold my company and joined Redfin. They promised me that wouldn't happen. They keep that promise, but that got sorted out. But the fear was that our competitors would game the rating system and just flame our profile and leave a bunch of terrible reviews or low ratings. In other words, we're getting feedback that we have echo feedback on this broadcast.
Keep going. Oh, is that okay? Bad echo on females. There is an echo when Phil sounds terrible. How do I sound? I'm not even speaking.
Tell me something I don't know.
Why Wi-Fi standards matter to you?
I have good Wi-Fi.
Oh, I sound great.
You sound great. You're the one with the lower bandwidth.
All right.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, we're rolling out new standards, new policy and procedures, new everything, just in case I want to salvage the video here. And we want the consumer to understand why this matters to them. Well, as I started out the conversation, Phil is just yelling at the abyss saying, what? That's funny. So why it matters to the consumer? Well, like I said in the beginning, instead of like just going to top producing agents who not necessarily are always the best agent, we want to make sure that everybody in our company, whether they just work with their friends and family and neighbors, or they are looking to be a top producing agent, or they're just working with the online provided company leads, that they are operating within our standards, which we have found to be the industry standards. Number one being learning based. Yes, Phil?
I was just doing number one.
You're doing number one, because that can't echo if you just use a finger. So on top of the New York State educational requirements, which are important, especially now with fair housing and ethics and all the important stuff that they roll out, we have more of that internally, but also have our own trainings and whatnot that we feel are super important for an agent to understand what's going on. Continuing ed is due every 2 years. I don't know about you, but I feel like there are things changing in the industry every month. It's just a constant, and keeping up with it is super, super important. And even more important, our training is very specific to the market at hand. Doing escalation clauses as this market became completely crazy, gave buyers that are working with our agent a better handle on how to submit their offers to get a better chance of winning that bid. Also how to handle from the listing side multiple bids. So we had training on how to handle it if you're working with a buyer. We had training on how to handle it if you're working with a seller. There are all kinds of new laws for landlords, tenants, and whatnot, just happening on a rapid fire basis. And with the news cycle being what it is, it's a challenge for an agent to keep up to date with what's changing on their own. I mean, it's a challenge for us, and it's like big responsibility for us. So yeah, while it is a responsibility for an individual agent to keep current, it's really kind of difficult to do so. You agree?
A lot of shifting sands in the industry. Maybe you should while I talk about help.
Oh, is that what I should do all the time when you talk?
No,
you heard it here.
Yeah, maybe you should mute.
I'll just repeat what you're saying. Go ahead.
There are a lot of shifting sands, and the market changes. The laws change. Lots of things change. So when an agent is trying to get a toehold on business, trying to chase prospects, close deals, follow up on different things, you need some help staying current on what's going on in this market so you do things correctly. We caught a possible housing violation very recently because the agent got temporary amnesia about a protected class that we had to serve.
I don't know if anybody heard you. I hope so. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is having so many issues. It says it's good, and then StreamYard says it's not good. So we'll get it figured out.
Okay. Well, your space. Oh, no, you're not.
We're consistent. We're consistent, no matter what. So, anyway, that in a nutshell is why it matters to you. You want to make sure the company that you hire has standards to the agents that they hired. We haven't always done a perfect job with that. You live and you learn, and we're rolling out a whole new set of standards that we we'll be working with people that we hire to make sure they're on the same page and are learning based and follow the rest of our core values, which are integrity, professionalism, being learning based, grit, my favorite, and also putting the community first. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week with better Wi-Fi and with hopefully our agenda for the year of all the exciting guests that we have coming on board. And meanwhile, Phil, you just sit there and look pretty while I log us off. Stay put.